And get the mic out of your face, dude. I think we're live.
Are we live?
Mm-hmm. Hey, everybody.
We didn't
Well,
have, we
are we
didn't
just
have the
talking to ourselves right
countdown to
now?
launch.
I couldn't find it.
Oh.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'll just be honest with y'all.
Aaron, actually, what I think you're doing is lying to us.
What?
Yeah, you know what you're
When
doing.
you say you don't know what you're doing, that's a straight up and down lie.
Busted on live TV.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Just-
too late to act stupid now.
And we'll get that right off the top, right at the intro of the show.
Is it a bad idea to eat a snack like a minute before you go into a live stream?
Always, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Man.
Well, it depends on what that snack is. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm like
doing
picking my teeth.
jalapeno
Oh,
poppers
hey now. No Simple Road family. It's Aaron.
And Mel.
and apple.
And we are here. And I hope you guys are here. There's 5 of you here.
Yay!
Hey,
Boom,
thanks for
right
watching,
away.
everybody. So in our communion together,
okay.
talking about what to do for this live stream this week.
What we want to put out.
Yeah, I was thinking like, as far as time goes, this year is unique because festival season is coming back, and last year was kind of like a half step kind of thing.
We think we're going to do this,
but this year it is in full bloom, and we are busy as fuck with all of it. And
for us, we're busy.
And festivals have been such a huge part of our life as No Simple Road and our life as individual human beings alive on planet Earth, that I thought it would be cool to kind of talk about what's going on with festival season and, our experiences at festivals and all that stuff. So I wanted to just start it off with a little bit of news for you guys.
Well, I want to start off by saying hi to Cody.
Oh.
Hey, Cody.
Hey, Cody.
Hey, what's up?
Love you.
Brother. Miss you, man. We'll see you soon. So next week, No Simple Road is going to be podcasting live from Mojo Family Fest in Washougal, Washington, with Bodie Mojo and Family Mystic and a whole bunch of other amazing Pacific Northwest bands. And we couldn't be more stoked to have that happen. And then the following week, what do we leave? Wednesday?
We leave Wednesday at midnight, and we arrive at 8 a.m.
Where?
Newark. And then we drive to Scranton, Pennsylvania for the Peach Music Fest 10th anniversary, thrown by the Allman Brothers Band. This is going to be epic for us and also for the festival. This is their 10th year. We get to be a part of that, and we are super excited. And so kind of along the lines of what Aaron was saying, as far as like festival season, like we're in it. And so what better way to kind of get ready for our festival season than to kind of talk about stuff that's been like fun for us to do, some good memories that we had. Like, how do you gear up for festival season? How do we gear up for festival season? So we'll talk about mishaps and all that stuff too.
Mishaps?
We've had some mishaps.
Okay.
And
I'm with you guys. I don't know what she's going to say.
Been recent.
Oh.
Okay.
Really?
Okay. I was going to say, I was thinking back to other stuff.
Like we've always done good.
No, our intention is always to do good, to put out a good show, to say something positive, to share something great. Not that. Sometimes in the midst of us going and trying to do everything, we forget stuff, or stuff falls apart, or things get frayed.
That's true.
Or things get broken.
Or the tent pole breaks.
Or a million things happen. And so this is our time for festival talk, because one, we hope that you're gearing up to go to your festival, either coming to see us at Mojo Family Fest, or at the Peach, or at Northwest String Summit, or at Summer Meltdown.
Well, first of all, I want to talk about Peach a little bit. So a little backstory. A couple of weeks ago, actually about 4 weeks ago.
I think people would appreciate if I just showed my
your socks.
I'm ready for Peach.
All right. So about 4 weeks ago, I got an email through the No Simple Road website, and it came through the contact form on our website, which like if any of you out there run a website, like it's iffy if what you're getting through that is actual human beings on the other side. Hang on. Or if it's like, spam. So I get this email and it's like, I'm trying to find No Simple Road to invite you to Peach. And I was like, that's fucking spam. But I looked at the signature and I was like, you know what? I'm going to find out for sure.
Why would you think that automatically? Just because of what you just said?
It was,
but it makes sense.
It was so short. And it was like, do you want to grow your followers?
Click here.
Email me.
Click here.
It's
Give
just
me your
weird.
information.
And so I Google the person's name and it's like the VP of marketing for Live Nation. And I was like, oh shit, I am really glad I didn't delete this email. And so wrap it up. I emailed the guy back and now we're going to Peach. And like everything that we all got together and talked beforehand. I'm like, okay, we're going to Peach. Like, I want it to be different and special. If No Simple Road's going to be there, I want to do something rad. Like, I want to pitch a live podcast to Peach. And I'm all nervous for the call. And I was like, and another thing, we're coming from across the country and I can't see how we're going to fucking fly with like camping gear to Pennsylvania.
It's possible, but
so I'm going to ask if they'll put us up. And like, please understand, like, we're live music fans, just like you guys. Like, I don't have like a special card that gets me backstage. I'm the guy spun out in the crowd, spinning circles just like you. So asking that stuff felt really weird. So I get on the call with the guy. And before I have a chance, after I introduce myself, he's like, so we want you guys to come out and do a live podcast. And I know you're coming from across the country, so we could probably work it out so we could put you up. And I was like,
I have nothing left to say
okay,
now.
cool. So yeah, that's happening. But like,
yes.
yeah. So that happens, right? Well, what you don't see when you see like No Simple Road is giving away tickets to Peach and like, hey, what you don't see is like the background of that, of like me going, oh, fuck, we got to do stuff now.
You got to create everything that you've promised or everything that you said that you would do on the back end. And that's a lot of planning. That is a lot of juggling and squeezing in. And then also it's creativity because we're like, what do we want to do? We want to bring you guys something fresh and fun and new.
And it's also a lot of communication too, because you've had meetings every week with everybody involved leading up to this.
So in the midst of those 4 weeks, Osiris Media has gotten involved. Daniel Donato's Lost Highway is doing live podcasting from there. Inappropriate Happiness with Karina Reichman is also going to do a podcast. Great Beyond also got invited by Live Nation like we did. So
Maggie Rose.
And Maggie Rose, the Salute Songbird, is also going to be podcasting from there. So we've like created this event that's happening in the lodge at Peach, right? And so part of like the ethos of No Simple Road, if there is that, is we don't script shit. Like when we have these conversations and interviews and stuff, there are no questions written down on a piece of paper. We start the Zoom call and that's it. You're hearing and seeing what happens, right? But I said to these guys, I'm like, I don't know if I feel comfortable going. There's going to be 30,000+ people at Peach. Not
that they're all going to be watching.
Not going to be watching us. They're going to be doing other stuff. But a big portion of those people is potentially going to be seeing us podcast. So I don't want to get on stage at Peach and be like, I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to fucking wing it. And so
which is so extreme. We never do it like that. Like, yes.
What?
Okay. Yes, we are not scripted, but that kind of like, we know what we're doing. It's not like we're brand new. It's not like we're year one, month one. We're not there. We're year 5 and we've done festivals before. And we've even like interviewed, like when we were at High Sierra, we interviewed Neil Casal. I mean, it really doesn't get bigger for that at that point for us.
But that doesn't negate the fact of like
some preparation.
Yeah. Not just that, but like think about this for a minute. You're at Peach. The music's happening. It's exciting. There's a stage with 3 microphones and chairs on it that are for us.
Yeah.
That's fucking gnarly. Yeah. That's gnarly.
Yeah.
To even think about that. And then like, okay, now I got to walk up there and say some shit. Right?
Yeah.
So for me as the conductor of the show, I'm like, I can't do this like that. We're going to go and whatever fucking happens, man. No big deal. Like, no. So we like, I sat down with these guys and I'm like, okay, look, we need to figure out what we're doing at Peach. And I don't know, man. Like, what do you think? How it came out? What do you think came out of that?
Your craziness and
just
well,
What came out of what?
well, at some point, are we gonna do those comments?
Well, yeah, we'll get to that.
What came out of it? One, a hell of a lot more clear communication. 2, it gave us an opportunity to revisit some of the stuff that we have done before and see if it works or not. So I think the biggest thing that came out of your kind of frantic, ness about Peach was a good plan and like reminiscing about stuff that we have done and then excitement about what is to come.
And I also I feel because we had that conversation, even if we don't have like a script of what we're going to do, I feel a lot more comfortable going into it knowing that we've talked about it and that at least in our brains we're thinking about it.
Yeah, we could kind of look at each other and be like, hey, the porch, remember what we talked about? Like, let's do that right now.
And it turns out that like a huge portion of the lineup for this particular festival are alumni of No Simple Road and people that like we've become friends with over the past couple of years. So I used that to like, hey, do you maybe want to come sit with us for 20 minutes?
It's kind of like our nubbin, our little blankie,
What?
Our previous guests that we're comfortable with is kind of like our little blankie
a nubbin is a third nipple.
Well, nipples can be comforting.
Yeah, like that. It's like our nubbin.
You mean whoopee?
Whoopee.
Yeah.
But nubbin, I'll still stay with that.
A whoopee for your nubbin.
Wow.
Something that's cool. Comforting was the point.
Okay.
And a nubbin can be comforting.
Yeah, it's very cool that the whoopee of past guests are going to be hanging out with us there. And like, so we're going to do like 20-minute little conversations. Is that what they are?
Well, I mean, definitely they're conversations, but in honor of what the Peach is doing and the 10th anniversary, we're going to try to make it surrounding that kind of idea of maybe 10s or anniversaries or what's been special about Peach in the past. And so, yeah, we've got a bunch of ideas now that we didn't have before talking about it.
Cinnamon said, if you need to phone a friend, just ring. That's
sure.
That's actually like part of the thought, man, is like, the magic of doing this show for us has been that once we interview somebody and then go see them play, the experience that we have seeing them play is deepened. It's an even bigger trip to go see a musician play that and you're like rooting for your friend and you've connected with them energetically. And it started making the shows different for us after talking to these people. I know like one of the first times that we experienced that was with Circles Around the Sun and talking to Adam and Neil. And it changed the way that the shows felt. And I was like, how can we bring that to a live experience at a festival doing a live podcast? So we have some things in store.
Yeah.
So if you're in the audience, that would be super cool.
And we're going to try to do some live streaming.
That's what I was just going to say.
Everything kind of technically works out, we're going to be doing some live streaming. So you have an opportunity to participate with us at Peach potentially if all goes well.
Look at Tourhead said, raining here in Oregon, had to pull my wubby up over my nubbin. Hell yeah, right on.
One thing I'm really
this is why I don't mind saying
to,
stupid shit on the air.
What, Apple?
Sorry, Apple.
I'm looking forward to things.
Cool.
Over here.
Live stream's over.
No, one thing I'm really looking forward to is like every time we talk to somebody on the air, like we're very loving, like just about everybody out there, and we are huggers. Like half the roster has been on the show.
Yeah.
And it's like can't wait to meet you in person and give a big hug.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like Hug Fest 2022. It's just gonna be amazing to get out. Other thing, one of the top things I'm looking forward to, because when we get there Thursday night, we're gonna be getting settled in and everything. We finally get to see Billy Strings on stage Thursday night.
So over the past 2 years, we talked to Billy during the lockdown.
I didn't get to do it.
Yeah, me and Apple did. And we had the most chill, fun conversation with him. And we still hadn't seen him. And so over the past 2 years, every single person that we know almost is like, you guys haven't seen Billy Strings yet? Are you fucking kidding me? And we're like, yeah, well, you haven't had a chance. And they're like, you guys are going to be blown away. Our friend Ben was like, Aaron, I just want to be standing next to you at the moment of understanding so I can see your face when you're seeing it and it clicks for you. And yeah, but see that, and that's part of the conversation I wanted to have with you guys today, is that like seeing a band that you've, either way, if you've seen them before or not, seeing a band at a festival is way different than seeing the band at their own show.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Do you
or that opening or whatever?
Right. Do you prefer one over the other, you guys?
I'll jump in there.
Don't jump. You'll break all the
different experiences, because with the festival, getting to see them at a festival, the excitement is so different because there's so many bands you're going to be seeing, but you kind of get an abbreviated kind of performance. They're usually not going for several sets or anything. But it also, again, from festivals we've seen, they have a shorter time slot. So they really bring it for that time slot. It's like kind of like the boiled down version of like, you bring your best, you get out there, you kick ass, and then it's the next band, opposed to seeing somebody touring where they're the headliner and stuff. And then that's its own thing too,
right?
Because they want to kick ass, but it's a different way.
And then they can also improv more, experiment more and everything like that. But then again, back over to the festival thing, what is so exciting about festivals is the artists, talking to artists, they don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
No.
You don't know who's going to join who on stage. You don't know what magic you're going to get. And nobody knows until it's happened. It is so open to improv in that manner too.
What about you, Mel? How do you feel about it?
Well, one or the other. They're both hella enjoyable, of course. You're going to go to a one-night concert. You're going to have a blast. You're going to enjoy seeing the artist and whatever. But a festival is a whole different mindset. You're not thinking about what you're going to eat 3 days in when you go to a concert one night. No, you're not doing that.
Oh,
you're
okay. I was
you're not
what?
Like preparing in your head what outfits you're going to wear, what you're going to eat later, how much money you need to have on hand. No, you just go to the concert, enjoy yourself, come home, maybe have a drink or smoke and go to bed. It's great. Festival, it's a thing. It's a pilgrimage. It's a pilgrimage, and you get to enjoy people that you never even freaking heard of. A lot of times in festivals, especially at the bottom half of the one sheet of who's going to be there, maybe the last handful of people, this is maybe their first time performing in front of these big crowds. So talk about bringing it. These smaller bands that are maybe on at like 2 p.m. or 4, they're trying to bring it as hard as possible because they've never had the opportunity. And here they go on their own time slot, trying to compete with the Andy Frascos, and Billy Strings and Trays and all of these other people. So to me, festivals are an amazing way to kind of like forget about your life for a moment and introduce yourself into the environment, because a lot of festivals are you traveling to them. You know, maybe it's not in your hometown, maybe it's in the next town over or whatever. The Fresh Air Festival has a spirit that takes you higher. It's true.
Yeah.
It's very true, because you're not like, oh, I gotta like get in my car at a certain time. You're not watching the clock, and if you are, it's only for another performance. You know what I
Right.
mean? So there's a lot of freedom in festivals that I love. And, you know, to Apple's point of like when the people are like, or when the artists are trying to kick ass because they've got this one set, or versus their concert where they're kicking ass because it's their concert. Like, I feel like in the festival scene, the music is kind of secondary almost.
Oh, shit.
To
Yeah.
the festival experience. So it does matter, because those are why the tickets get bought. Like, you know, as far as like who's going to be there, it matters. But when you're at the festival, sometimes, you know, that Billy string set that you wanted to see so much, you're there, but you're talking to this dope person that you just met, and you're
Yeah.
seeing it for the first time together. So like, it adds something so different than a concert does. And so, I mean, if I had to pick, I wouldn't want to, but I would say festivals are a lot more all encompassing
Wow. See, I
than just a
Festival.
concert.
The one thing with festivals too, or they're it's pretty seasonal.
Yeah.
You know, there is festival.
it's festival season.
The rest of the year, it like going and seeing shows around the holidays is also very special, like, especially up here, traveling in the rain and the cold and sun, going into a venue for shelter to go check out the band that you've been wanting to see. It's they're both of them have so many.
Well,
It's live music. They
Yeah.
all have so many.
Well, so going and seeing a show, whether it's in your hometown or not, you're getting to experience that band most of the time with 2 full sets. And there is something to be said for that experience of like a band playing for an hour and a half, taking a however long break, and then coming and playing again for a couple hours. By the time that second set rolls around, that band is a well-tuned, firing on all cylinders machine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you're getting a way different experience than a 45-minute festival set.
Oh yeah.
You're seeing the like the inner workings of the trippiness of that band.
They got to come out on fire.
Right. And if when you go to a festival and you see them play a 45-minute set, I guess as a band, the hope is that you go out there and bring that second set energy to
Yeah.
the crowd so that they want to come see you live. But for me, like, I already have a hard time paying attention to shit. It's hard at a festival to, like, when there's a lot going on, to
There's always a lot going on.
To,
at a
like,
festival.
sync, for me, to sync up with the music. Like at Northwest String Summit on Saturday night,
Oh wow.
there was an opportunity to do that because it was like 2 hours. There's a headliner.
Yeah.
And there was a 2 sets, and like it happened with Dark Star at Northwest String Summit too. So I got to have that experience that I'm used to having at a show at the festival. But the rest of the time, it's almost like changing channels on the TV. Do you get what I mean by that?
I'll say it's more like a buffet, where you go into this gorgeous buffet that you spent $59.99 to go eat, and you have like key lime pie, cheesecake, ice cream.
This is a hell of a buffet.
I'm there. I don't know. I
There's
thought
no,
about
like,
that.
there's no
Dessert
meat
buffet.
or anything?
I skipped straight to the dessert.
Oh, okay.
But what I'm
Best
saying
part.
is that you're actually able to take a bite of all of these delicious foods. And it's not like going to a steakhouse and ordering a ribeye. It's not the same thing. If that's what you
Yeah,
want, you don't
sampling.
go to a buffet.
Right.
So it's a nice way to really get a bite of these musicians that we really want to hear and know about. And you know, it may or may not be their best set, but now you've got like something in your head that's been like, oh, I need to catch up with those girls, or
Right.
I need to catch up with that band.
Daniel said, always go to the Sunday morning shows at a festival. I saw James Brown at Bonnaroo in 2003 at like 11 a.m. on a
What?
Sunday, and it was incredibly indescribably.
Oh, that would
good.
be amazing.
Indescribable.
Also, you know what? The other thing too that I love about festivals, because every single one of them we've been to, we've experienced this, and talking to artists too. That what one of the things they love about festivals is it also makes them, they're performers, but they have a little time slot. Rest of the time, I mean, you could be standing there and look over, and there's your favorite drummer from a band.
Yeah.
They become part of the crowd because
Yes.
they're there to see
Yeah.
it too. They're also there to discover new music on all these side stages and stuff.
Yeah, that's one
It's
thing.
very interactive, a festival.
That's one thing that we've discovered, like through doing the show and asking the musicians that we talk to, like, are you going and seeing live music right now? I would say probably 70% of them are like, no, we're too busy doing our own thing right now. So it's an opportunity for them to cut loose too, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think at the bigger festivals too, it can be hard because, like you said, the festival thing is an experience all by itself.
Mhm.
So you've got your camp, you've got the people that are camped around you that you're now friends and family with.
Mhm.
You've got your spot on the lawn that you're hanging out at, and the people that you met there. You're walking around looking at the vending. You're
Mhm.
getting something to eat. You're going and
Yeah.
taking
Waiting
a shower.
for your
You're-
person to come on, and
right. And so there's so much going on at a festival. It, to me, like you said, I think I'm going to agree with you
With what?
about like how the music is almost secondary.
Mhm.
It's part of the fun of the festival, but it's not the only thing.
No, if you are, say, like, well, maybe that's not true. I won't say that. I was going to say, like, if you're a fan of a headliner, you're not going to go to that festival expecting that to be the best or wanting to just like.
True.
You may. So I was going to say, never mind on that, because it might happen.
Well,
When
look
it becomes part of the ambiance. Like we have a lot of our recordings we've done at festivals. It's awesome because we're talking to a band that has just played or is going to play with another band in the background with the
Oh, yeah.
music setting the ambiance because it's in the background.
Yeah, and
Not necessarily the highlight.
And every once in a while, you're getting magical festival sets like Goose's 2019 Peach Festival set.
Yeah.
That set catapulted them into the stratosphere of where they're at now,
Yeah.
along with Bingo Tour.
Well, because you're being watched more. So another think about that, not just only fans of music, but now we've got people that are in the music industry that are in these festivals looking for new talent or representing their people that are the new talent. And so they're excited and they're watching for other stuff. And so there's so much more that's happening at a festival than at a concert. I feel like concerts are more relaxing and more specific. And
well, definitely more specific.
I'd agree with that because artists too, we've heard a couple times, it's also a great place for networking, for meeting.
Yeah.
Like for managers to meet managers.
That's what I mean.
Publicists to meet public, and for bands to see up and coming bands and say, hey man, see if they want to open for us on a leg of the tour.
You know what I'd like to do right now, just real quick. You guys that are watching the stream and are in the chat, put up your favorite festival set that you've ever seen and why.
Well, we got a question from Cinnamon, which is a good one. It kind of is a good segue. What was your favorite festival y'all attended and why was it so good?
And then we also got this one.
Underneath. Grateful Dead at 9:30 a.m. on the US Festival.
At the US Festival.
At the US Festival was a trip. Weird to have it over by 12:30.
I mean,
the last one, is that the last one?
Yeah. So to have a show over, or I guess that the festival wasn't over by 12:30, but the US Festival was days and days of amazing shit. But to see the Dead at 9:30 in the morning, like I don't know.
Well, that's another thing. Waking up to music at a festival, that's freaking rad. I remember that at Northwest String Summit. And I guess going into the question, what was your favorite festival and why? My favorite festival was Northwest String Summit. And the reason why was because of how gorgeous it was. And I had my favorite night of my life at Northwest String Summit 2019, Saturday night. Northwest String Summit. It changed my life.
What?
It changed my life. It healed it was like Phil the other day. Like, I would say, I mean, everybody has beautiful moments in their life multiple times, but there's certain times where your life changes because of a moment. And that's what happened on Saturday night at Northwest String Summit.
What exactly went down that made it like that?
Well, first of all, Yonder Mountain String Band, their 80s set was on another
Mel loves
level.
that 80s music.
Well,
Man.
it was very appropriate for why it was such a big deal, because it healed something in me that was very particular to me. I'd never gotten to go to prom. I never gotten to graduate with my school. I never got to homecoming. None of those kinds of things that I ever got to do when I was in high school. So bringing it back to the 80s made it feel like that for like that time period. And then the freedom that we had, me, you, and Apple that
running
day,
around on acid at
running
Pony's.
around.
And we did also, I remember
Well, and
we
then-
all said we felt like we were in high school again at one
Exactly.
point because we were so free
Well,
and we
then-
were like kids again.
And it wasn't just like, oh, we were in high school. It's like we were the popular kids in high school. It was like, I'm running around with my boyfriend and he's like getting drunk, which was the coolest thing because Aaron, you don't drink. And so for whatever reason, you felt like drinking.
And so
that brought in another energy to the night.
It was a party
that we didn't have before, you know? And so it healed I felt like I was at prom, and I felt like I was at homecoming, and I felt like we were popular, and I felt like the songs were like,
that's fair,
navigating our evening. And it was just the most beautiful, luscious landscape I could have ever been at. And we were meeting all these new friends, and like, we were doing a really good job for Northwest String Summit. We were really like getting great content. And so I felt proud of what we were doing. I felt lucky about what we were doing. I felt like trippy. Like, it was the best ever.
Here we got one from Daniel. One Bonnaroo morning, I found out that I missed a post-midnight jam with Ben Harper performing Led Zeppelin tunes, along with John Paul Jones and Questlove on drums. So you wake up in the morning and you find that out,
and you're pissed that you went to sleep.
Oh, but
well, that's like
you can't see it all. You got to sleep.
Festivals are like a really good movie that you paid to go to, and you gotta pee really bad. And you're like, is this the moment? It seems to be lonely.
It's never the moment.
I think I could run out in the hallway and do that. It's the same thing like going back to camp. I'm sure you did that, Dan. It's like, I think now's a good time to go back to camp and try to get a little rest and everything. I'm not going to miss anything.
No.
Yeah.
We got one more. Yeah, I have to agree. And you know what's funny about the Ventura Goonie Birds is Apple and I both had a sheet of that stuff back in the day. And I remember that shit. And it was amazing. So I'm going to have to agree with you.
I don't know about Goonie Birds.
You were probably like 5.
Yeah.
At that time.
I'm glad I'm late to the party in any kind of fun use. I'll just call it that, fun use.
Really?
Yeah, I'm grateful because
you didn't break yourself early.
I didn't break myself, and I'm an adult and my brain is fully formed. And so I'm not just getting formed by it. My brain is formed, and now I'm enjoying it as like a fine wine instead of like a now later.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and you do bring some clarity to us burnouts over here on the other side.
I mean, this is a side topic, but medicinal use of entheogens and psychedelics, it is so enjoyable as an adult when you're being responsible. Period.
Our friend Daniel Shankin from TAM Integration.
Yeah.
I saw a post that he did on Instagram or TikTok or whatever the other day. And he was talking about the recreational use of psychedelics. And you know how in like the psychedelic community, it gets shit on to, it's got to be a clinical setting. You got to be with a doctor, blah, blah, whatever. He was like, look, man, it's okay to have an experience with your friends at a music festival in nature with the music and being free. It doesn't always have to be clinical. It doesn't always have to be with a doctor.
Part of doing that stuff is not to have constraints on
Yes.
yourself or it,
Thank
and then
you.
trying to constrain it and put it. You need to do it this way, or you're not going to have a good time. You don't know my life. I'm going to do it the way I want to do it with who I want to do it with. But back to answer that, I'm just going to piggyback on Mel's favorite festival experience. She said exactly what I was going to say. I mean, we've enjoyed all our festival experiences, but that Saturday night at Northwest String Summit, the whole String Summit thing, especially that Saturday night, was a game changer. That was also for the three of us what really thrust us into the bluegrass world.
Oh yeah.
We came
And
out of
we
that
got
with
really
a whole
close.
new knowledge and respect of the bluegrass world, and it changed the way it sounds forever
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
for us. And that's the other thing about it. It's just amazing.
Look at what PJ said.
We'll be next year at
His
North.
favorite festival
Ah!
moment will be next year at Northlands 2023 when
Okay.
you guys come to New Hampshire.
PJ,
visit.
what month is that? So we can book it now.
it's let's do it, man.
No, but seriously, right? Like that Northwest String Summit, and I don't want to take anything away from High Sierra or any of the other ones because that was so
No.
fun in itself. But like when you have a legitimate change in how you think and feel and your past,
That should be what a good festival does.
yeah,
Yeah.
It
Well-
should
well,
be
it can be.
a catalyst.
It absolutely can be. And this is why I wanted to talk, like just throw in that, the whole psychedelic thought, because if you're responsible, it can be so healing on a million levels and also make new
Wait,
memories.
was the caveat there if you're responsible?
You can be irresponsible and still
Thank
have
you.
amazing time. There's no caveat. I'm just saying in that setting.
Yeah,
I don't think
I wouldn't put responsibility
I'm not-
into our festival experience.
This is what I'm going to say right now from Mel, No Simple Road. Use your psychedelics as you wish. That is not my
Boom.
place to say
Yeah,
how,
everybody's different.
when,
That's-
how often, if you do or don't. That is not my business. I'm saying for me, since I'm older and I didn't do it as a teenager, I'm enjoying it being an older person and knowing when to stop, when to go for more, and when enough's enough.
There is the perfect comment right there.
Yeah.
Decriminalize psychedelics.
Yes,
Make America
Jack.
magical
Yes,
again.
Jack, you're true.
Hell yeah. Well, that's going to say, just backing up to like it's one of those things. I would thank you for that question, the best festival moment. But there's so many that go with it. You've heard us talk about the High Sierra was our first one of actually going and recording. And we had the whole doo-doo limo experience. We had great things with that. And then Summer Meltdown was the first time we actually took it to the stage on that side stage and had such a wonderful time.
That was
And
amazing.
that one,
true.
I really love Summer Meltdown because it was a mix of electronica and all kinds of stuff with Tipper there, and Pigeons one night, Humphreys,
It was incredible.
Closey. I mean, it was like a mix of so much different music.
I think my favorite festival moment isn't a festival. I think it's Dick's in
That's not the same.
That's not
Doesn't
a
count?
festival.
No, you can talk about dicks, but that's not the same.
I
Fish is a
can.
whole different
Yeah.
thing. Oh, I meant to say, I'm going to interject something here on the relay because you brought up the fish thing. Yesterday, it was so funny at work. I put on, because there's a limit of what's on Amazon Music for fish, but they have the Baker's Dozen on there, like highlights. And I'm explaining to all these mostly in their 20s who have heard of fish, aren't really into them. The most exposure they
Dad
get
rock,
is
dude.
from me playing
Right.
it. Well, they dig it. I pull out certain tracks and stuff, and they dig it. And I'm explaining to them, like this band did 13 sold out shows at Madison Square Garden every night. And when you pull up the playlist, it shows like Boston Cream Night, all
Right.
that. They're like, what is that? And I'm like, oh, let me tell you about that. Not only did they sell out 13 shows in a row, every night, the first like however many people it was got a fucking donut.
And the
'cause that
set was
the special
themed based
donut
on
night.
the flavor of donut.
It's so fun educating and talking to
Yeah.
people when they're truly interested. Like, and it blew their minds. They're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? And I'm like, my hope is, and I'm sure they did, a few of them went home, were listening to Fish.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Then I'm going to have to say, if I can't use that,
You can't use that only because
It's not a
it's
festival.
one band.
Okay.
And it's not what we're talking about.
fair. That's fair. I'm going to have to say it was High Sierra 2018 because you guys can't see it, but like on the wall right up here is a picture of the three of us.
Oh yeah.
And it was the
Should I pull
last.
it down so they could see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull
Yeah.
it down.
Yes.
It was
Yeah,
the
this
last
is
night.
live.
It's
Everyone
never
see
going
it.
back up there. It's like balanced precariously on the thing that it's on. But anyway,
No, it will. It
We'll
will.
manage to get it back up
Yeah.
there.
here.
Have
let's see,
faith in
let's see
us.
if you can.
Here, I'll.
Yeah.
Wow, look how white. Look how white
It's hard
that
to
polar
see
bear
Apple.
is.
It's hard to see Apple.
Oh my
Try to
God.
make it a little bit better. But this was
They
an
can't hear you,
amazing-
babe. You're not on the mic.
Sorry.
So it was the last night of the festival, and we had done all of our interviews. We had, sucked the marrow from it, basically. And it was, I think, Chris Robinson Brotherhood was playing
Oh, yeah.
while that was going. Neil was up on stage. And it was this moment in time of like, holy shit, something's happening for us right now. And
Magic.
and like in life, there's a lot of moments that like just go by, and then afterwards, in hindsight, you're like, wow, that was the time when whatever it was changed. That was one of those times when it was happening, and I caught it when it was happening. I was like, oh my God, our lives are changing right now.
Yeah.
Because
it
of what
felt
we're
like
doing.
that. It felt like that.
And
You're
like we had met Reed Mathis and gotten to hang out, and like
Sprung.
it was just like Apple said, it was our first festival that we had podcasted from. And when we drove away from that place, I felt like for the first time in my adult life, I was proud of the job I did for myself. I didn't do a job for some faceless fucking shit corporation and do good. I didn't do it to make somebody else money. It was for my family.
I remember that. I think he said something along the line that it felt like I climbed the mountain and planted our flag.
It was pretty special. Like that's why I was saying like it's hard to talk about favorites because every festival has catapulted us. And honestly, before No Simple Road, I don't think I've been to a festival.
Really?
Yeah. Where? When? When did you and I ever go? Like,
oh, that's true.
I've
Yeah,
been
we were
married-
raising kids.
yeah, literally my entire adult life I've been married. So that was nothing we never did that
Mhm.
ever.
I'll tell you, that's one thing to me that's I know it's special to you two as a married couple or anything, but it's so special to me as our tricycle friendship is seeing Mel come into this.
Oh
with us
shit!
and because we put it on the shelf. It wasn't stagnant. It was in hibernation for a while while you were raising kids and Mary and I was off California, all these things. And then to come back together and like rediscover this together and Mel totally coming into it, which is still so funny. The things always playing out.
I'm not a festival girl.
Festival girl. I'm not a hip. My favorite was I'm not a hippie girl, festival girl. As she's hula hooping with bell bottom jeans on.
To
and,
fish.
I'll
Yeah.
say this. I'm not one to put anybody in boxes. I don't like to be in a
Exactly.
box. So if somebody's like, oh, she's a hippie chick or she's a deadhead. No, I ain't. I'm the only thing you want to put me in a box is I'm a grandma, I'm a mom. Those are the boxes that I enjoy. That's it's the only thing I'll be
that's
like,
the boxes
yeah,
she
okay.
likes.
But it's also like a dog going, I'm not a dog. Don't put me in a box. Like,
No,
you
okay,
you
maybe the
bark and you
dog's
got
like-
long hair and
Well,
you
maybe the
shit
dog's
outside.
like, I'm a shepherd, not a dog.
There's more to me
right?
than just that.
Look at this 2005.
Okay.
Bonnaroo had the following groupings: Herbie Hancock's Headhunters with John Mayer and
No.
Roy Hargrave, Leo Kottke and Mike Gordon, Booker T and Drive-By Truckers, and much more.
Wow.
Well, Bonnaroo is happening right now. So shout
Yeah.
out to all the Bonnarooians.
Bonnaroovians?
Bonnaroovians. And yeah, that's going to be a great festival.
So in talking about all this, it's a huge part of the life of No Simple Road. And I don't want to, we've talked about Northwest String Summit and Peach and
Summer
High Sierra and Summer
Meltdown.
Meltdown. I don't want to diminish in any way going to our first Skull and Roses festival and podcasting from it was the fucking coolest thing. So back in the day,
Yeah.
when I was on tour, the Dead allowed camping at shows at certain places. So there were certain shows that
certain venues allowed
that were like
camping.
festivals.
Yeah.
And one of them was Cal Expo, and it's in outside of Sacramento. It's near the American River, and it's the exposition grounds up there. And we went to those shows and camped, and I had a VW van at that time, and we snuck in. You had to have camping tickets, right? And we didn't have them. We didn't have tickets. But somehow I finagled my way into the camping lot and parked.
Of course you did.
Yeah, of course. And we get out and we're all looking for miracles. And I'm the only one that gets a ticket to the show. And okay, back up. By this time, I couldn't smoke weed anymore because every time I smoked weed, I tripped out. And so I get into the show by myself. I'm on the floor. I'm like 7 rows back on Phil's side. And they take the stage, and Jerry comes out in black shorts. I'll never fucking forget this as long as I live. And the guy next to me goes, "Oh shit, Jerry's wearing black shorts. It's on." And I was like, young deadhead. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, what's happening? And the guy next to me is like, "Hey man, you're hot. You look hot. Do you want a sip of my Gatorade?" And I was like,
Oh.
"Yeah." And I take a sip of his Gatorade, and he looks at me and he smiles. He goes, "See you later." And I was like, "Oh shit."
That just happened.
So
Don't take anything from strangers
Yes.
unless you want
Unless
to
you
go on a
want-
ride.
yeah.
So they
Be
start
prepared.
playing, and the stage is fucking melting, like literally dissolving. And the members of the band are becoming these orbs of light. And I'm fucking tripping out. And the guy behind me is like, "Hey man, do you want a hit of this Illinois North Slope neopollinated tripweed?" And for whatever reason at the time, I was like,
you were high.
if
and
I
the
was,
stage
yeah, I was
melting.
like,
Well,
"Oh,
of
maybe
course
if I
I
hit
do.
that, it'll bring me down." Wrong. So I hit this weed and immediately start panicking. And I'm like, I got to get out of here. And I can't find the exit. They're like in the middle of like Scarlet Begonias or Tennessee Jed.
That's when they hide the exit.
And there's spinners all around the exits. I
You
can't
cannot leave.
find my fucking way out. And I'm like bumping into people and just spun. And then separate comes. And I'm like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm freaking out. So I go, and there's like a food court area at Cal Expo before you can leave. And there's like security all in front of the exit. So I'm like, I can't, they're blocking us. They're going to kill us all is what I was thinking. They're going to murder all of us.
They've corralled
us in.
Okay.
They're gonna gas us or shoot us. So I'm sitting on the ground in the dirt by myself, and there's like, crews of heads all sitting around like at set break, hanging out with each other. And the lady behind me is this older head, and she's going off about these younger heads are such assholes, and they don't clean up after themselves. There's cigarette butts all over the ground. They're just throwing their trash everywhere. They shouldn't be here. Blah blah. And I'm like, she's talking about me. For sure, this lady's yelling at me. And I like get up and I stumble through security to where they're going to let you into the camping lot, but you have to have a wristband to get in the camping lot,
Which you don't have.
which I don't have.
Mm.
And the security guard's like, "You can't go in there. You don't have a wristband, dude." And I start crying. And I'm like, "I just want to go to my van and my dog, man. I'm fucking freaking out." Finally, he lets me out. So I say all that to say that was my festival experience prior to going with you.
That's not
Again,
festival.
yeah, I was just gonna say
It's not a
again, that was
festival.
not a festival.
That's an intense concert night,
was a
but it's
dead
not a
show.
festival.
Your idea of festival is different.
It was your
Camping.
idea, and
Camping is my idea of a festival.
festival.
Yeah. It doesn't
Okay.
matter if it's one band or 20.
Okay, well, that goes against
Well,
the festival.
okay.
What?
But that's a good story. I remember,
Yeah.
I knew where that was going because it's like, and I started crying. That's a good one. That works a lot to just start bawling.
Oh yeah, if you
when
start
you're-
crying, nobody
yeah,
wants to
like-
do it,
like
especially a
security,
grown,
like, oh,
Hey,
grown
what's
man.
Christmas on
that?
drugs
Tuning
and
into
bawling.
The NSR, FR
Mhm.
from Rhythm Grounds on the PA. Solid service here.
Right on.
Hell yeah! So we can totally live stream from Rhythm Grounds in the
Hell
future.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tiff.
So yeah, no security guard at a festival,
And
concert, or anywhere wants to see a grown ass man tripping balls, crying.
Crying.
No.
No, it's like okay, I guess we'll let you go.
I
do
take
whatever.
that instead of raging.
Well, yeah.
You know? Somebody's crying, I'll comfort them all day. But if somebody's gutting crazy,
But you're also not security at
I remember I would have a
But I
flashback
love
too because
security.
whoever it was that brought up earlier about seeing Us Festival. That's one I was mad at my parents for so long because Us Festival.
Oh, yeah.
That was I don't remember how long it went on. It wasn't very many years, but that was like back in the 80s, and I was so upset. I think I was like 15.
Didn't like Van Halen play there?
It was like Van Halen and
Ozzy.
Rush and Ozzy and all these, and then other stuff sprinkled in there. And my friend's older brother, who was not a very responsible person,
Who?
looking back at it, my friend Tony,
Oh,
his
okay.
friend Rob, his brother Rob, he was gonna be our chaperone to take us up there. And my mom was like cool with it, but then Dad put the smack down. He's
Put
like,
the
"You're
kibosh.
too young. You're gonna end up on drugs." And then
He was right.
and one, and I'm like, I'm already on drugs. Oh, no. But I didn't get to go, and it crushed me for a little while. You know, I'm over it now, but man, I so wanted to see the Us Festival.
Well,
Are
back
you
then.
sure you're over it now, Apple?
When I was younger, the ones that I wanted to see was Lollapalooza and the Free Tibet concert.
Oh shit!
Those
yeah.
two
I saw
were
all of them.
the ones
Thanks
that
to my
was
buddy.
like I wished as a young teenager that I could have been there, but now I'm so in my
See, I forget about those two. I did every Lollapalooza, and I got to do one day of the Tibetan Freedom Festival up in the Bay Area.
Really?
With my friend. Yeah, I still have my backstage. It's one of my backstage pass things I have or my lanyard somewhere. I forget a lot about Lollapalooza because I think more jam band stuff. I forget about early life.
That was the
Lollapalooza
shit.
was every grunge band,
well,
everything.
And Woodstock's the festival, and then one that they had. I was working at Mirage as a valet attendant when the second Woodstock festival happened, and our friend Tom had gone, and they had made a pilgrimage, and they'd gotten rented a van and went out there and drove out there, and it was a huge deal, and I was so jealous. But that was in the midst of us parenting. And
we're not going to see Stone Temple Pilots with a 1-year-old.
No, I was really good at just shelving the things I wanted to do. I don't get to do that.
We ain't got to do that shit no more. We get to do it up.
But look at I'm fucking can do whatever the hell I want.
Let's roll.
My kids are like, yeah, mom, go for it, do it.
We're coming with you.
Well, I'll have to do that. Not now, but sometime I'll have to talk because I have some experiences from Lollapalooza because my friend worked for Bill Graham Productions. And I was all access backstage, and he was the gopher, which basically meant you went and got drugs and everything for all the performers.
What?
I remember. Oh yeah,
drugs,
scoring weed for the Beastie Boys, and back smoking weed with Mike D, and fucking hanging out with Smashing Pumpkins, hanging out with fucking Soundgarden.
So you learned early on how to not be a dick backstage.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you just got to blend in, and especially if you have a worker's badge, that's basically and then that was one thing I remember too. Is even hit one of the bosses was okay, you have a worker's badge. Somebody that doesn't know who you are may try to grab you to work. Be like, I'll be right. And I had a person say, it's I'll be right back. I'm running an errand for this person, and then they'd leave you alone because they would try to pull me into duty, and I'd be like, I'm going to get a cord for this person, and they'd be like, oh, okay, never mind. There was protocol, you had to behave yourself.
So Apple, you were always meant to be in this industry.
One of my favorites was, I forget what year it was with Jane's Addiction, and I just read an article the week before about Perry Farrell saying how he is a vegan and his girlfriend, and I'm standing in the buffet line backstage at Lollapalooza next to him, heaping a big old thing of chicken wings on a plate. So I saw a glimpse behind it. Okay, I get it. You put on this air of this, but you're also a normal person just doing your own thing.
I think.
Okay, wait. Okay.
What?
Fine.
Wow, I was strong. I got the arm and everything. I got the fucking.
Stop,
shut the fuck up, Aaron.
Stop, axe.
Because I was gonna say.
Wait,
it's almost the end of our hour.
Fuck the hour. We go as long as we want.
We do go as long as we want, but none of us have eaten, and so
That's
I was
true.
just trying to be
cautious.
And I was going to say, what was your favorite set? That's where I was
Set.
gonna segue into
Set at a festival?
Yeah, because we talked about our favorite festival, but what was your favorite set at a festival?
My God. I don't know.
Or what was
man.
well? Okay, how about what was most memorable? What's a memorable one?
The
that you
most
have?
memorable set is 2019 Northwest String Summit Saturday night when they were doing that 80s montage set and that flower exploded and bees came out of it that were children
running all around. Yeah, that was
pretty that was pretty memorable.
and I hadn't taken acid in like 25 years and I took acid that night and was having a blast and that happened and I was like, this is fucking great. But
Wait.
hang on, musically speaking, that's really tough.
Dead air, babe.
I know.
Let Apple go.
I can't. I can't. I
You
don't
stopped
know.
Apple.
No, I was
to
just going to
be-
say correction on the 25 years of taking acid. That was at Skull and Roses 2019.
I didn't.
Then, huh?
Yeah, he
I
didn't.
didn't take any.
He didn't.
You didn't?
No,
I
thought
did
you
Molly that
did.
night.
Oh, I was
No.
on too much acid. I don't remember.
Yeah.
No, it was me and you, Apple.
You guys did. I
Remember?
didn't
And
do
Ryder.
it. Mhm.
Yeah.
Wasn't me, man.
Well, I was
Don't
gonna-
you throw Ryder into this? He can't
that's
defend
that
himself.
Saturday night, a very close second, because I always want to say was that Summer Meltdown Tipper.
Oh, look
That
at this.
I want to hear.
was
I
like,
want to.
whoa.
No, the one before.
We already did that.
Lollapalooza 2015 Sunday Light headliner.
Yeah,
No,
Yeah,
you-
Sonic Youth.
we didn't
I-
do that.
Sonic Youth is
Sorry, guys,
one
we're
of my favorites ever.
We're trying to pull these up.
Sunday night headliner was Florence at Lollapalooza 2015 and was Florence and the Machine. During her entire set was a dry lightning storm.
Wow.
No rain, no thunder, just lightning. Wow. I see, it's hard to pick, man.
Okay.
Like
Okay. Next, Apple.
Dark Star.
No, you
Yeah, Dark Star at Summit.
At Summit.
at
Yep.
Summit.
Friday night.
Yep,
Yeah, that Friday night.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
there it is.
Apple.
Oh. Hi.
What?
Well, I just said it. The Saturday night
Oh.
Yonder was
Oh,
the
the
one
Yonder.
that made the biggest impression,
Okay.
but very close second to that was seeing Tipper at Summer Meltdown.
Okay,
Oh.
so my first, and I mean this might sound weird to both y'all, but seeing Twiddle at High Sierra, the reason why that was
dare
so
you.
special was because we had just freaking gotten there with that crazy doo-doo limo business, and we like parked the car. We're like rushing around because we have to interview Twiddle. And we finally find them. We go backstage. We're in this like little
In the green room.
green room, and then they are going to take stage immediately right after we're done with them. So we walk out to the front, in front of the stage. They get on, and I can't count how many tears I cried after that. It was kind of like what you said. It was like I felt so proud of what we did. Like we had
Mhm.
like gone through so much crap before we got there.
Literally.
But then we were like all professional and like and then Mahali starts talking about things that he'd never shared before. And that was a huge deal for him.
That was a first
In-
for us on the
In
show
turn,
too.
for being a huge deal for us. And they were all such sweet guys. They were so loving and so appreciative and grateful. So then to go automatically right after that interview and go see them perform and they kill it, knowing that that interview was fresh in their head and
Mm.
also in ours, and all the stuff that we had to do to get there, it was just
amazing.
Yeah,
it was
amazing.
it was transformative.
That's why we could talk for hours, but they keep on
Mhm.
bringing up one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get up and change the camera angle. We're gonna do Apple's weed review,
ooh,
you guys. So Mel, I'm gonna have you man the comments
okay,
for this part of the segment of the show.
I can do that.
Yeah. So here we go. Hang on a second.
Okay, well, while he's doing that too, it just brought up. This is a Lollapalooza moment. Like I said, I don't care. I remember '94 seeing Lollapalooza. I think it was '94. Had to have been. That's when I was living in Colorado. Fiddler's Green, going. Alice in Chains, Dinosaur Jr., Primus were like headliners. And I remember that's when I was up there with Mike and Rico. We were total Jay Mascis, Dinosaur Jr. fans. We're watching him perform, and all of a sudden we hear this. We're like, what the fuck is that noise? Who is that on the side stage? Well, it was Tool on their first tour for the Sober, and That was when Maynard had the mohawk and the lumberjack like pajamas with the
wow.
ass flap open with his
Yes.
ass hanging out. We hadn't ever heard of them, and we were like, okay, we love Dinosaur Jr., but let's go see what that is real quick. That was another amazing experience. Plus, seeing that's the only time I ever got to see Alice in Chains
Oh, wow.
Alice in Chains with Lane, and that was there.
Keep going, Apple. You got it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm like, oh, I'm pulling this thing over here. So yeah, pulling it over. So yeah, I always forget about festivals in the 90s. So oh, there's so many. I remember the last one too. Another special one was seeing Smashing Pumpkins. That was with who was on that one? Boredoms, Beastie Boys, freaking.
Oh, where's the bow tie? You're right, Cinnamon.
Well, that's kind of.
Yo, where's the bow tie?
Look, that kind of looks like a bow tie. We're working on it.
We are working on
well,
it.
the first thing we realized, and I was like, no. Aaron was like, dude, you'd have to like trim your beard some for the bow tie to even show. And I'm not trimming my beard to show a bow tie.
Billy Kramer says Fiddlers, he saw Buddy Guy and BB King there. Dang.
Dude, and that Fiddler's Green is freaking so many dope venues up in Colorado. Okay.
Go ahead, Apple.
All right, I'm getting focused in, doing this thing.
You can hold it up too.
All right, so well here.
All right, well this portion
we're gonna,
is Apple's weed reviews.
What I'm gonna do too on this one, because last time I realized like I don't want to smoke at the beginning of it, because then like Aaron pointed, oh my god, you look so loaded, dude. We'll start without a couple products I'm not going to sample yet. Just talk about a few things. Which we've talked about tinctures and stuff. Tinctures is a great way to introduce people. In my life, it is older people like my parents who are a little more conservative, never understood why I smoked all the time. Smoking is a bad thing. But tinctures is something that anybody can do. And unlike edibles, this is a company up here in Oregon, the Angel Industries. And these people are angels. These people pass on the medicine at a pretty good price that some charge a lot for. This one's just fun. That's the reason I brought this one, because it's funny to hear people say this. Everybody's heard of the ratios, like a 1-to-1. This is a 1-to-1-to-1-to-1. So it's funny when people come in and they're like, what tincture? I actually mess with people. And I'm like, what was that? Just to make them say it again, because it's a tongue twister. I want the 1-to-1-to-1-to-1. So this is a 1-to-1-to-1-to-1 has THC, CBD, CBG, and CBN in it. And this one has all equal parts of those. So when you're talking like entourage effect and getting everything from the cannabis plant, and they have this nice little angel tissue paper and everything. But this is it. And this is one, my mom loves this. This is good for inflammation, for arthritis, inflammation, for, and everywhere where it's legal, I'm sure you can find something similar to this. This is a great thing for anybody, but especially when you're getting older. This helps with every element that you can have. And unlike edibles you digest. They have to go through your digestive system, through your liver. And that could be anywhere from, a half hour to a couple hours later. This is sublingual. So you drip it under your tongue. You let it sit as long as you can, and it soaks in and goes to work a lot quicker.
Okay,
it's one thing I love about tinctures.
One question we have is, what's the onset time of the tinctures and what's the high like?
The onset, same thing. It's hard to everybody's different.
Yeah, their metabolism.
But it's a lot. That's, like I said, it's taking it sublingually, let it sit under the tongue. It soaks into your glands and everything, goes to work right away instead of having to process through your system and your liver. And it has like less side effects. Usually kicks in anywhere from 5 to 10, 15 minutes because it soaks in through your glands under your tongue and in your mouth. So that's the difference. Edibles are iffy.
What's the highlight?
Well, what's the highlight? Well, especially with this stuff, we have one. A lot of people stay away from THC because that is the mind, like high. We also have a 1-to-1-to-1, which just has the CBG, CBD, CBN in it. And that's for all your inflammation. That's for like your body pains, your aches, and everything like that, just to make you completely relax. So this one is the like everything. You do a dropper of this for me personally, and I'm a bigger guy and stuff. I do a dropper of this, the recommended dosage, within 15 minutes. It feels like we've talked about like a weed bath. You're just eyes back. You are so
I'll try
relaxed. And if you have any aches or pains, you know, it helps alleviate so much with inflammation, which so many of us have nowadays. So, okay, next product, and this will go hand in hand. We'll go through our intro later. We were talking about crop circles and sacred geometry. This is a company up here. These people are very dear to me. This is Crop Circle Chocolates. And I just want to shout out to Jeremiah, Rebecca, and Todd. These people produce these amazing truffles that they order like the chocolate from South America. Like, I mean, this is all artisanal stuff.
You want to open it up?
It's like your top brand truffles. It has on here, this is not the flavor. This just happens to be strawberry guava is the strain of weed that was put into this. And they partner with a company up here called Bo's Nose, which makes solventless hash rosin, which is like the new, which I have solventless hash rosin here, which we'll get into. But you open this little beauty. This is our seasonal release, the strawberry lemonade. You open this up, and it's got these beautiful little handmade truffles that they make every
Where's
week.
those other two?
Why is there a bite out of that one?
Me and well, Mel helped me at first because this is one of her favorites too. But this, I mean, they're so good. They're like melt in your mouth truffles, and being the solventless hash rosin infused, that kicks in a little bit quicker than an edible. But you know, if you're ever up here, you ever come visit us, I'll make sure you get to taste one of these.
If you're over 21.
Yeah, exactly. If you're over 21. Okay, we're almost getting to the weed, but that, like I said, the solventless hash rosin. This is another company we carry up here. This is an incredible company, Verdant Leaf. They're located kind of out where our grow. Well, I'm getting specifics of like where they are.
Yeah,
It doesn't
cares.
matter.
No one cares.
Yeah, this is the SHO, which is solventless hash oil rosin. So this is where it's all kind of going up here. There's like CO2 extraction, which is an old way of doing it. There's BHO, which is butane extraction. This is solventless. This is done with no chemicals, gases, anything to remove it.
You're not going to show what's inside?
No, I am.
This is like the new up here. It's expensive. It's starting to come down in price because more companies are getting into it. But like this, we sell for, you know, this is like $60 a gram.
That's
at the dispensary, and our prices in Oregon are lower than most places. That'll start to come down as more and more people start to manufacture it. But this is what it looks like. It's just
Hold
a
on,
nice.
Hold on. Hang on. I'll get it.
He's getting it.
He's getting it.
Don't get it.
There we go.
Boom. Damn. Look at that clarity. I forget which one this is. This is a banana strain. A banana strain. It's like a banana pudding tain something, which I just love the name. It makes me good.
Sour banana fritters.
Oh, this is the sour banana fritters. Thanks, Mel.
You're welcome.
But this stuff is amazing. It's like, you know, most people, even in states where they don't have all this stuff yet, has had shatters and sugar waxes, things like that. This takes it to a whole nother level of cleanliness. The problem I had with all those kinds of dabbing things is they're quite harsh.
With the butane.
Yeah, they would make you cough and you know, and I don't like that. This, you take a hit, you blow out this cloud of smoke, and you're expecting like a cough, and it never comes. It's so smooth because of the way they process it. Problem with it being so expensive is like the yield, like say you process 10 pounds or even a pound, whatever your return on it, by the time it gets refined, kind of like distilling liquor, you do it again and again, you get about a 3% return on the product.
Dang. In here, let me show this. In Massachusetts, $80 to $100 for a gram.
Jesus.
Okay, well, that's the thing. Yeah, and if you're talking solventless up there, this is a mid-range one right here. There's a company up here called Happy Cabbage, which we carry once in a while. They were the ones that started doing this first up here, and they have stuff. There's also there's like ratings, like 40U up to like 120U. Well, the more like refined it is, there are dabs up here that go from $100 to $140 a gram.
Well, so check that. It says gotta waste to taste, but low temp dabs are where it's at.
Yes, yeah, I agree. Yeah, low temp. And that's the thing with the solvent list. That's low. It's lower temp than other stuff that you got to burn, and have the nail that heats to 400 degrees precisely. This stuff also burns clean. If you've had bad dabs, it leaves a blackness
Yeah.
kind of in your rig or in your nectar collector. And that's why in my last weed review, I did those hits of the Georgia apple pie stuff. That's why I like nectar collectors. I can't do I can't do huge bong rips anymore. I'm getting older. I like little tastes, and which I'll demonstrate in my favorite way to smoke flower. So you get that little terpiness every time. So let's get to the flower, and I get to smoke here in a minute. All right. So this is a company up here, Oregon Roots. This is a fantastic grow.
And he's busting it out brand new right now.
Yeah, I just opening the seal on this jar. This is a nice new 8 of their special cut of Obama Kush.
Obama.
Well, here, this needs to be dumped out to see this beauty. Oh my God, this bud's so big it won't come out. I love that. Holy shit. Funk.
Oh, come on, weed.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes. So this is some beautiful Obama Kush from Oregon Roots. And
wow.
I usually have this stuff right in my mind.
But look at how frosty that is. Look at how dense that is. Look at those trichomes all over. I mean, this is a beautiful strain.
And this, I had to look at, I get so many strains going through my head. I couldn't remember what this was. Obama Kush is a cross of like an old school Afghani crossed with an OG Kush to come up with this beautiful bud. This is definitely an indica that, will lay you back and take care of all those needs. And when you're stressed or anything, or want a good night's sleep, this is one of my favorite cuts from this garden. That's one thing I don't know if a lot of people out there probably know and everything, but it also gets confusing in the cannabis world. A lot of strains have a number behind them or something. And one of the most famous is Gorilla Glue number 4. Well, now there's like a Gorilla Glue number 12. The number refers to the pheno. Like you could pop 30 different seeds, and that's what, like, going on a pheno hunt. Like 30 different seeds, you grow 30 different plants, you keep smoking those until you find the one that you want to be your mother and to supply your garden. So you can end up having Gorilla Glue number 16, number 12, whatever. It's just whatever pheno is your favorite out of that seed finding expedition. So
Billy Kramer says this is the best show ever. And then Billy, Uncontrolled Substances says, Billy, indeed.
Hell yeah.
Well, you know what I will say too? I want to say thank you for your knowledge, because I learned so much about weed when I worked with you, because you just retain this information like immediately, so easily. And it's freaking useful, because sometimes I'm like, I don't want to get real high, but a little bit high, but I want to be happy. And you're like, here, and that, to have somebody understand that about you and to be able to literally like be your doctor in a sense, it's so rad. So I want to say thank you to everybody.
Thank you.
To you on behalf of everybody, because
I could just see it. I turned a little,
true.
I blushed a little. I got a little,
yeah,
well, because it makes that's what I love about when we moved up here and I got in the cannabis industry. I remember, especially Aaron knowing my whole life, but Mel too. They're like, what better fucking job for you, dude?
Apple dropping some knowledge.
And also I want to throw out there kind of a disclaimer. I have a lot of knowledge, but I'm also a stoner. So sometimes if anybody ever gives me something, say something that isn't 100% right, I do make mistakes sometimes. It gets very complicated with all of the different procedures of making like the solvent list and different things, but it is obviously a true passion of mine. And one of my favorite things is getting people matched up with their right medication. And the most trying fucking one of all of them is Aaron, the conductor. He is a tough cookie to figure. I've figured it out several times, but then he fucking changes.
Well, Aaron,
for a long time, it was the Blue Dream, and he was like, and the next thing I know, he's like, now I'm having panic attacks again. I'm having this and that.
Then it was CBD, and he was fine to do that. Can't smoke CBD right now.
Terrors when I smoke
Yeah,
CBD.
night terrors. So
Aaron's a tough cookie to crack.
He can have CBD salve sparingly.
All right, so let's.
All right, so we're gonna do it.
Okay, this is what I'm talking about. This is one of my favorite. You know, there's the bongs, there's the huge bowls, there's all that. There's nothing more to me that turns me off than when you go somewhere and somebody, I think I demonstrated last week, they like take a bowl and they just cram it in there like this, and fucking roast the shit out of it, and then hand it to you like, here, man, you want to hit? It's like, no, you know what I really like? I like a fresh hit.
Blue Dream
I
is
want
a
to
great
taste.
strain.
I want to taste these terpenes. Yeah, it is. Blue Dream is a standard that will always be amazing. But this way, I just got this nice little one hitter. We loaded a couple nice nugs up there, enough for like 2-3 little hits, so you get that fresh taste. And then what I do after that is I would dump that out, load another fresh one hitter for my friend that I'm going to pass it to, so that they can taste all the beautifulness of this plant that Mother Nature gave us. No, don't hand that roasted fucking bowl that's just
I was
smoking.
focused on the bowl.
And would you want to hit it? No.
I'll take. Well, no, because that's indica.
Oh, okay, that's true. It's too early for indica for it. Yeah, and I'm just gonna take one hit because we got things
one thing
to
about
do
being a
and stuff,
smoker
so.
and being a stoner and all that stuff is you have to learn how to be a grown up with your medication.
Or not.
Well, if you don't want to.
Wait, what are you talking about? Yeah, no. Responsibility.
I have to be a
and
grown up because then I won't get nothing
it's
done.
Like me and Mel realized early on that we can't be getting high before the show.
No.
Not only does Aaron get annoyed with us, kind of because he'd look over and we'd be like,
dude,
and he'd be like, hey, we're doing a show. What are you fucking staring at? Or, you know, like, come on. All right. Nice hit. Nice hit at the Obama.
There we go.
Wow, I like that. Wow, what a cool shot.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh. This shit tastes so good. It tastes like there's another strain called Purple Punch. Like the stuff that has the purples in it for me. Oh my god, they're so good. I know Cody knows what I'm talking about. The Purple Punch is one of his favorites.
Oh, we have a couple comments.
It's got such good flavor and instant. Like Mel said, she was passing because it's in it. Instant, just like
yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, it feels good as heck, but
yeah.
So David says Apple's dropping some knowledge. And then Cinnamon says ChemDog, the OG grower from Mass. Bet y'all could get him on the podcast.
Oh,
and then Cinnamon said, Apple, I would love to hear an episode on terpenes, flavor, and effects.
Okay. I like that. That's a good one. And that's one I had on my mind coming up soon because I got from work that'll use some visual aids too, because terpenes occur in so many things in nature. Like in your lemon, it's like limonene is what gives lemon a lemon smell and stuff, and orange. It's in all the fruits,
like essential oils.
Essential oils. It's what gives stuff its profile and its smell and its taste. So I will do that, dude. Thank you for asking that. In fact, I have a dope thing at work that's like a laminate we made that breaks down all the terpenes, at least the most common and known. The other
one from Medicine Farms too. That poster you brought me.
Oh yeah, with the wheel.
Mm-hmm. With the pot, that big pot.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
It sucks, man.
Well, I'll get into terpenes. Let me just this one last thing. The one thing about terpenes and the cannabis world is, it's still in its infancy, and now that it is, there's programs out there funding research and everything. There are new terpenes being discovered weekly. More and more research is going. There's tens of thousands of terpenes, and there are so many molecules and things and terpenes that make up the cannabis plant. It is such a complicated plant. That's why there are so many different varieties of it and new ones being created all the time, which one of my favorite things is going back to Pineapple Express, where he buys that weed, and he goes over to get the weed, and he's like, that shit you bought last week? fuck, that ain't nothing. It's like if this shit and that shit fucked had a baby, this is the new shit. That is the cannabis world. It changes weekly. I got a fucking bag of fucking sample medicated fucking pop rocks. I mean, they're making everything. There's medicated cotton candy. There's it's
Popcorn.
just insane. Yeah, the popcorn is legit.
So, like I was saying, it sucks, man, because like
my
whole life, I was a daily pot smoker.
Yeah,
I loved weed more than anything. I would wake up in the morning, pull my pipe out, hit my pipe, and go take a shower. And
wake and bake.
And then now, like, I live in Willy Wonka's workshop and can't eat any of the candy. It's fucking, it sucks, man.
Thank God you can take a weed bath, though.
That's true.
But that's not an easy thing. You're like, you know what? I'm going to go take a weed bath before lunch real quick. It's not like an instant. And it is. It's a bummer, man. Sometimes I feel bad about it. I come home. I'm like, Mel, I brought you something.
I mean,
here,
I got so much.
Aaron, I brought you a pen.
Yeah, here, Aaron. Here's a cool
I have so
pen.
many things in my nightstand that I am the second apple in the house as far as like my friends will come over. I'm like, hey, do you want some of this stuff? And it's like I have to give it because I can't consume that much edibles. I can't consume that much weed. I cut back dramatically. Like when I first worked in the industry.
Oh my God, you were.
Gosh, when I first worked in the cannabis industry, when I moved here,
That's fucking great.
I don't know if my eyes were ever fully open, but
well, especially you worked on the farm.
Yeah.
And when you work on the farm,
and they said
everybody's
can't get
smoking
high.
all the time.
Well, they're saying you can't get high, and everybody's like, "Oh, I'm going to be at my car." What? Okay,
I got on your car. You're not leaving.
I'm going to go to your car with you. What are you doing over there? And so I've had to learn how to cut back my consumption only so that I can be productive, not because it's bad, but just because I have to be able to function. And it lays me out if I start smoking early in the day.
The other side of not smoking too is when I was smoking weed all the time and around other stoned people, it didn't fucking matter because I was stoned too. When you're not stoned around stoned fucking people, it's hard sometimes. Conversations just peter out. Like, you don't know what the fuck's going on.
About me, right?
No, not you. Like,
it's one of the things that causes. I'm the worst at it, but Mel does
man.
it too. The random, the not completing sentences.
Oh yeah.
Which has leaked over into my sober life as well because I've been a stoner for so long. I just taper off in the middle of a thought.
Well, It is what it is. I'll figure it out. I'm going to do what Ben said and go take a month off work and bring a pound of weed with me into a cabin in the woods and just smoke and smoke until it goes away.
Torture yourself for a month.
Yeah. I'll just have a panic attack by myself somewhere for a month.
Yeah, in a cave or a cabin or something. That's
so I can smoke weed again.
That could be really cool or very terrifying.
Yeah, I think probably the latter.
There's no middle ground there.
Well,
I want to say we have had a really active group in the chat for this, and thanks you guys for hanging out with us. This is our new favorite. Doing the live streams is so fucking fun. And we don't even know what this thing is going to be yet. It's you're watching the birth of something right now.
Yeah, we might change it up. We might go on the porch.
And like we said, one of my favorite things about this, it's not personal at all, other than it's for him, this is so cool for Aaron to being able to do something that when we get done with this, we get to go on with our day and go have fun. Normally, the other stuff we do, Aaron would be like, I'll be with you guys in a half hour or so. And he would have to save files and start the process of editing and getting ready to edit. This is so fun because we all three get to be like kind of like on an equal ground.
And when it's done, it's done.
Involved, and it is being here now. I mean, it is. We're live. We can't be sidetracked or off doing something else, or you would.
I've only just found y'all.
Right on, Jubal.
What?
Jubal.
Well, you know what's rad about that you've only just found us is that there is a huge back catalog of fun, amazing episodes. Maybe not on live stream, but on our podcast. So welcome to the family.
Yes. Yeah. I love you, Billy. Give those kitties a little pat for me and tell Diana.
And I think there's a puppy there now too.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there's a doggy. Come on.
I'm trying to remember the name.
You're good at stuff like this.
I know, and I just.
Okay. Anyway.
Never mind.
Aaron, just try one
Odie?
hit or half an edible.
Oh no,
Okay.
edibles are worse.
Okay, here's the thing.
Edibles are worse for
The edible causes a peculiar. You know how? Remember in what movie is that where he's like, I have a very particular set of skills.
Oh, Liam Neeson.
Yeah. Edibles
yeah,
have a
that
very
one.
particular type of panic attack. And it's like being locked in a room in my head and not being able to get out.
Listen,
It's fucking terrifying.
everybody out there, we have literally
Tried
with a capital L tried
so many
everything. One hit at this time, before bed, after bed, middle of the day. You know, even I can't even put THC lotion on Aaron. I can't do it.
Otis Oatmeal is the dog's name.
Otis, I see. I felt like it was an O, but I wanted to say Otis.
Otis Oatmeal.
So just before we go, the backstory. I was a daily weed smoker. I went to a Dead show at the Forum in LA. I don't remember. I think this was like 94, 93. And I ate a bag of mushrooms. I thought it was an eighth of regular mushrooms. It wasn't regular mushrooms. It was Liberty Caps. And you're not supposed to eat the whole bag. But I did. And I went into the show and tripped and had a great time. And then when I got into the car after the show, they hit like full force, whatever that was. And I lost my fucking mind that night. I fell down I passed out walking down a flight of stairs and hit my head on a door and woke up on my back in the foyer in some guy's house that I didn't know, and was dying in the back seat of my car, like going towards the light. And ever since that night, when I smoke weed, that happens again.
Well, there's been minor exceptions because we used to smoke weed before. We used to smoke weed when we lived in Vegas after what you
It does this.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's very unpredictable.
It's like I broke something.
Yeah.
Aaron is the worst and the best like test patient guinea pig because it is a constant challenge. And he has moments where I recently brought home some of that East Fork cultivar CBD weed, and you loved it. It worked great
Twice.
And the next thing you know, he's like, okay, now what? Like, so we find a thing for Aaron. It's good for like a dose.
Oh my God.
Jubal, when we first got to Oregon, I thought it would be a great idea to eat some RSO. And wait, I got to read the comment.
Yeah, you got to read it.
I caught COVID a month ago. Me and partner, for some reason, we thought it would be fun to eat some RSO. Okay.
And
so
was it?
So we get here. Apple and I go skipping down to the local dispensaries before he worked for the cannabis industry.
And I had no experience with RSO.
Clue with RSO. So they're like, just do like a grain of rice. And
you don't know my tolerance.
yeah. Well, I did a grain of rice, maybe less than that. Holy shit. 2 days high. I got lost in Costco.
Well, I remember we did, it was hard to get a grain of rice size out of it. We did like 2 to 3 grains of rice, and we're like, yeah, we're experienced. We've done so many things, and yeah, Costco turned into
luckily, I was not part of that. Yeah, I'll experiment. I was like, that shit looks potent. If you don't need a grain of rice, fuck that. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I remember Apple like, dude, coming and finding me. I'm like staring at the products in an aisle. At
I
Costco.
lost you like 4 times. I thought I was talking. I had to go back to the last aisle. I remember the one you were just staring at a pallet of Jif peanut butter. He was just staring at it, and there was people walking by looking like, "Oh, look at this dude." And I'm like, "Aaron, come along. Quit staring at the peanut butter. Would you like some peanut butter? Grab some. Let's move on."
Shit, Billy.
Whoa.
Wow.
And Billy, you're right. Aaron is constantly in a dehydrated state because of how much coffee he drinks and doesn't replenish with water.
Wow, I never put those two together.
I am so freaking hydrated all the time.
That's a good call, Billy.
Insane. That is a good call, Billy.
Maybe it does have something to do with caffeine. Oh well, I'll pick
dehydration.
I'm going to say if I have to choose one or the other, it's not a choice.
I would rather have you on. I'd rather have you. I don't like. Yeah, you're no good when you're not on your coffee.
No.
Talk about a cranky mess.
Aaron needs his coffee game.
That's
sure.
right.
But the hydration thing. Thanks, Billy. That's it. Next time you try something, you need to
That's true.
drink a bunch of water before you get high.
All right.
Okay.
Water's
So
amazing.
we will not be back next Saturday.
No.
We will be at Mojo Family Fest next Saturday, and the following Saturday, we very well are going to be live streaming from the Peach.
Yeah, the only reason we wouldn't is if we literally can't for some technical
Check
reason.
this out. I got a piece of gear. It's as
Babe,
big
they
as
don't need to know
it's
any
as
of
big
this.
as an Android tablet, and we can stream wirelessly from festivals. So we are going to be bringing you content live.
What's it called?
A YOLO box.
YOLO.
YOLO.
Yeah.
YOLO.
All right, you guys, everybody, again, all of you that hung in, we fucking love you
I feel
guys.
like we should do the
Yeah.
the
Oh,
clapping thing.
Cinnamon.
Oh,
Happy Father's Day to you too.
yeah, happy
and to
Father's
all
Day
the
to all
dads
those
out there.
dads.
We love you guys.
All dads and grads. People are graduating right now. Congratulations to all the 2022
Oh,
graduates out there and all the daddies.
And David, Peach.
Ah,
We love you guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks. We love you.
I like Chuck Woolery. Remember too?
Chuck Woolery.